All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It is 8 o'clock on the dot on a Monday morning. It is the 2nd of December. Rise and shine. Take it in. Let it out. It is a beautiful morning. But let me just tell you something. It is chilly outside. A live look at readings around Central Florida, hovering just above freezing in Ocala. You're at 34 right now. It is 46 in Leesburg. We're at 49 in Claremont, 48 degrees in Orlando, St. Cloud at 50, 51 in Melbourne. It is cold this morning when we compare temperatures right now to temperatures 24 hours ago for comparison purposes. Um, you can see we're kind of in the ballpark. So just like yesterday, it's chilly, but we're about to drop things in a big way. So you think it's cold out now, my friends? Get ready for the chill. I hope you're having a great morning. Welcome to Coffee Talk. We're going to be talking about the chilly temperatures outside this morning and the even colder air around. But first, before too much, let's just look how beautiful it is. We know it's gorgeous outside, but on a morning like this, we're almost in like frost watch. Not that you'd really be able to see it from our tower cam network, but at least let's look outside. Clear skies, you can't, maybe this idea of frost watch is kind of silly, right? That was Ocala. Orlando, can't really tell from here, right? All right, maybe it was a silly idea. Oh well. Oh well, depending on what direction that Taveri's tower cam is looking, we could maybe see. Yeah, you can't. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I saw some frost on my drive in this morning to take the kids to school. So it is what it is. All right. I guess we can just move on. We'll look at temperatures today, okay? This morning, definitely chilly. We know we'll rebound beautifully. We're going to keep a nice breeze in there, too. All right, 57 degrees will be our 11 o'clock temperature. We'll work to about 64 degrees. 1 o'clock and 66 is it. So this is going to be a cool afternoon, my friends. So I've got the warm cup of coffee. Lucas said had a bunch of frost and Eustis. All right, there you go. Very good. Thank you. So there you go. It's beautiful outside. But let's take a minute and let's talk about tonight, because tonight's temperatures, this is going to be where you'll really feel it, okay? So for tonight in Central Florida, let's talk. In Orlando, for example, 41 degrees, 39 in Apopka, 39 in Orange City, okay? Altamont Springs 41, but wide shot showing we should get down to about freezing there in Ocala. Should get to around freezing in the villages, and even in Brevard County should hang at about 43, 44, 45%, mid 40s. This is going to be the coldest air we have seen yet this season by far and away. And then looking ahead to Wednesday morning. All right, Wednesday morning's low temperatures are going to be cold again, even colder, as a matter of fact. 40 degrees in Orlando, 33 in the villages, right? 32 degrees in Ocala. So no matter where you are in Central Florida, it's going to be chilly. And that's why we're calling the next few mornings impact weather. Not to hype, but just to let you know, like, this is going to impact you through about 9 o'clock or so in the morning. Then the sun comes up and at least the temperatures rebound. But frost is a thing, and we'll look at the model data to kind of get an idea of where frost could be the majority of a concern. But the idea is if you have sensitive plants outside, that's probably going to be your cue, my friends, to bring them in, to cover them up, that sort of thing. And of course, that means cue the if you're cold they're cold memes where you bring in the alligator, etc. You know the routine. Winter's coming, the dude from that TV show I never watched that stands there with the sword, those things. So cue all of the memes, blah 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 blah. It's going to be cold. Mike says it's going to be 18 tomorrow night in Raleigh. I'm going to go with a hard pass on that. That's just me personally, but hey, to each their own. Diane says you can hype the cold. I don't mind. Yeah, so we've got some cold temperatures. So this morning, still under a freeze warning for Marion County, inland Flagler under a frost advisory. There will be more of those issued looking ahead to tomorrow and, of course, looking ahead to Wednesday. Okay, so how does this work out for frost and freeze areas? Let's take a look at the computer model data and kind of get an idea. All right, so for tonight, I'm just going to stop it about 6:37. That's about the coldest point. Tonight into tomorrow morning, here's your frost and freeze areas. Okay, I'll bring it full screen. Notice mostly away from the ocean, right? Unless you're on the nature coast. If that's the case, then frost is certainly a thing. Around the urban sprawl of Orlando, probably only going to see patchy frost, and most of that's going to be on the roofs. What we're looking at with the light greens, that's not just roof frost. That's a little bit easier to develop. Talking about ground frost, talking about plant frost, right? So basically in the more rural areas, but that includes inland Volusia County, that includes inland Flagler County, that includes Osceola County, that includes Lake, Polk, Sumter. And then when you get into Marion County, you see that lighter blue, that's freezing conditions there. So again, sensitive plants, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So that's tomorrow morning. Okay. Well, dang, is it going to snow at this point? Laura's asking. Laura, let's just look outside. I'm just going to show you my perspective. There is no moisture here. So my gut would be that we're not going to be talking about snow. You need the moisture for that. All right, so that's a look at tomorrow morning's frost and freeze areas. Let's look ahead to Wednesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. All right, there you go. Same idea. Basically, more rural areas for frost. Frozen areas are going to be Marion County. And you see the dark blue on the top left corner. You get up into Georgia, etc. That's a hard freeze. And as we heard from, was it Mike was talking about in Raleigh, 18 degrees? That's what we're talking about. Yeah. So yeah. Laura's asking, "Where's my jacket?" I've got my jacket. I've got my jacket, but while so I'm doing a little flying this morning. I've got an instrument lesson today, so I'll go pre-flight the airplane and I'll do it with the jacket, and then pull the airplane out, and then when it's time to get in the airplane, I will close the doors and the windows. I will close all of the air vents, and then not turn on the heat, because heat in a small plane is not the best idea in the world. So anyway, all right. So that's kind of where we're at, my friends. Not discussing record numbers here. These are the numbers in Orlando, for example. We'll be close-ish, particularly tonight into tomorrow morning. If there was less wind, I would suspect that we would be into record potential territory. But given that the wind's going to be up just a little bit, 5 miles an hour will do enough. So I would suspect that we're probably not going to get to record values. And then Wednesday's record is even lower. But it's at least one of those things that we're watching, right? All right. So again, we've got impact weather this morning, tomorrow morning, and Wednesday morning. Okay? Does that sound good for everybody? All right, so let's take a look. What happens afterwards? Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast, showing those impact icons there. Again, it's not a severe, not lightning and thunder and that sort of thing. It's just letting you know weather will be impactful for you and your family. Okay, so today, tomorrow, Wednesday, in the morning, clearly that's what we're trying to show. By Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the temperatures start to climb up just a little bit, and then there's some indication down the line that we could be talking about. Of course, hold on. I gotta sign in. I know you're signed in. There's some indication of like our next front. So here's the raw GFS numbers, okay? And notice mid 80s for December, what, 11th, 12th, 13th? And then you get into the 14th, 15th, 16th, right back down. So the and this is the GFS model. It's raw model data. It's not a forecast, but at least it's giving that indicator of something. Okay. Yeah. Terry says we've been cold and frosty here since Sunday morning. Yeah. Well, that 'tis the season, I suppose. You know. So we're seeing some fronts. There's definitely going to be a warm up before the next front, but as we were looking at the long range stuff yesterday, there's definitely clear signs of fronts moving through. So at least there's that. Okay. Betty says, I bought a small heater with a fake fireplace for my office. No more cold mornings on the chat. Well, and I bet you that there's at least some bit of a beautiful ambiance to that, right? There's got to be something. Gotta like that. All right. Marco Island trip during that warmer weather. There you go. There you go. Kara's going north the 11th through the 13th. Man, it's going to be chillier up north than it is here. Beverly says, it's my kind of weather, but it's getting too cold. But can't complain. Yeah, it's lovely. I love the changes. Fall is probably my favorite season, but this isn't too bad either. Sorry, I couldn't bring the heat back from Cabo with me. That's okay, Tiffany. We won't be mad at you. We won't be mad at you. All right, questions, comments, concerns, friends, anything? Anything at all? How are we doing? Are we staying warm? Woo, it's beautiful outside. With that warm up and steep cooling off, we need to watch out for severe weather and that front moves through in December. Leslie's asking, yeah, it's a good question. We'll have to watch the moisture component to it. If there's a strong moisture signal, then certainly, but we'll watch and see how that plays out. Debbie says, at least the sun is shining. I know that. I know that for free. Bring on the Christmas sweaters. I need to find a good aviation themed Christmas sweater. Faith says, I really don't like this cold weather. I moved to Florida back in 2001. I feel like I still live up north. Remember, though, you don't have snow to deal with here, and it's winter. There's going to be some chillier days. That's just the way that it goes. You know? That's okay. Looks like it's setting up for a colder winter. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. Catherine says, OMG, the Buffalo Bills game was unreal last night. I was just listening to the Today Show on the drive here and heard them talking about it. Missed it. Missed it. Oh, well. Sandy, good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Jill says, heading your way on Thursday. Can't wait. At least it'll be a tad warmer than here. There you go. Terry's asking, does this cold already mean we're in for a gem of a winter? We'll see. We've got some storm systems coming in mid-December. We know that, looking at the BSR. So, we'll see. We'll follow it along. We'll try to track the fronts and all that fun stuff. I just like tracking weather. Mario says cold weather better than hurricanes. Yeah, I won't disagree with that. Linda says my daughter says it is 18 in southern Massachusetts this morning. Yeesh. Feels like yesterday we were talking about 2023 winter severe threat. Can't believe it's been a year. There were some severe threats, but remember that was an El Nino year, if I recall. And so, yeah, every year has its own set of fun, right? I moved here from Hawaii and I'm still getting used to this, Melissa says. Yeah, this would be a little bit of yeah. Is Wes going to be in Ocala this week? I have no idea, man. I'm not the news. I'm not the news person. Kara's asking, is Frank Burris Eric's dad? I have a Frank who's a father and I have a Frank who's a brother. So it just depends which one. Usually my brother's in here. Dad doesn't come in very often. He's too busy being old man. Well, but yeah, it's 98% of the time it's my brother Frank. I can't adapt to any other meteorologist since I moved to Tallahassee. Oh, Terry, thank you. I appreciate that. There's some good ones up there though. There's some good weather folks. I was at a weather conference. Is his name Casanova? Super, super, super nice guy. Super nice guy up in Tallahassee. I think, or is he Panama City? I think he's in Tallahassee. I think he's in Tallahassee. Yeah. You look younger in the car. Could it also be that I don't have gel in my hair and I haven't shaved in a week? I'm still on. Today's the last day because I have to work tomorrow. I'm doing the noon and 4 tomorrow, so I have to shave tomorrow. So today's my last day to get to be au naturel, we'll say. Yeah, I'll take it. Was 30 waking up past few mornings in LJ, Georgia. Glad to be back to this. Even if the 8-hour drive took us 12 yesterday. Oh my God. 8-hour drive took you 12? That sounds troubling. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Hey, I guess too, since it's the first Friday outside of hurricane season, we'll have to figure out somebody for the coffee talk drive-through. Who should it be? Faith says, love the facial hair. Thank you. I do too. I like it. It feels nice and relaxed. But the boss doesn't let me. Bum, bum. Image consultants. So I'll enjoy it today. I will shave it tonight or tomorrow morning. Oh well. I would rather bring in plants for the cold than a hurricane. See, there's something emotional about that, right? Yeah. Debbie says Claire Metz. So I said to Claire Metz that I wanted to get her on, but I got a yes, but I got a non-committal yes. So I'll have to get. Oh, that's a fun, ugly sweater. I need it to have a Mooney though, Tiffany. That's the problem. It's if it's gonna have a specific airplane, it's gotta have a Mooney on it. So I'll have to try and dial down a day for Claire. I didn't get a committal yes. I got a non-committal yes. So at some point, yes. So I need to figure out who to get this week. Bentley, good morning. Good morning. Chris says Tom Jerry. He's my mentor, but until he retires, I can't do that. I can't do that. There's the whole competition thing. As soon as he retires, though, one day he's got a while ago, but when he does, I'll get him. I worked with him during I worked with him when I started working with that guy when I was in high school, you know? He knows me before my facial hair knew me. Oh boy. I'm enjoying some Colombian coffee on Coffee Talk. What flavor are you working with today? Juan Carlos is asking. I've got my Pilon, man. Just good standard. Patty says such a fun group. I look forward to. I love this. This is my favorite part every day. Solid, solid 7 on YouTube. Love that, by the way, the name. Mooney Talk always makes me miss Neil Bortz. Dude loved his Mooney. Who's Neil Should I be embarrassed that I don't know who Neil Bortz is? Is that bad? Oh my God. And then you delivered an ugly sweatshirt with him. Okay, I feel like I have to buy this one, Tiffany. Oh my God. It's a Mooney. That is the best. I am, I am Oh my God, that is actually hilarious. Hold on, I have to send this. Hold on a second. I have to send this to myself. You found one. That's too funny. Oh man. Oh, how about the former Seminole School superintendent? That would be, I mean, he was my assistant principal in middle school. That would be fun. Oh man. Too funny. All right. Made stock with turkey carcass yesterday, soup today. Ooh, that sounds so good. Long-time syndicated talk radio guy, still alive, just retired. Well, first off, glad you're still alive. Super glad you're retired, and long-time syndicated talk radio. Solid 7. Love that. And yeah, the name is perfect. Tell Alex he needs to do a coffee talk drive-through. He and I were just chatting this morning. Okay, I will ask. Let me ask him right now. Let me ask him right now while we're talking. Stand by. The people have spoken. They want to hear from you. Coffee talk. All right, I've asked him officially. I think he'd be a fun one. He and I, we see each other, and I mean, we briefly chatted with him. You remember a couple of weeks ago when I was flying, he came by the car to say hello. But yeah, I need to get my stepfather's recipe, y'all. All right. We would love an update with Alex. Bring him to the coffee talk drive through. All right, I've officially asked him. He's read the text messages. See. Wish that was me, but alas, it was Board. Just humble podcaster on nothing wrong with being a humble podcaster on hiatus. We're all just a humble something. or we should be a humble something. Nothing wrong with it. If you do anything in your life that fills your cup, then dang it, own that. Okay, Alex said a solid maybe. What is it with the non-committal? His response is, ha ha ha, solid maybe. I'll get back to you by Wednesday. That would be acceptable. A solid thank you. All right, there you go. Oh my God. Too funny. All right. How's the weather looking for the 14th? There's a parade in Ocala. We've got a really nice stretch of weather, but it does look like mid-month we're gonna have some storm systems moving through. All right. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Kara's asking, I want to learn to fly. Where does one start this? There's flight schools all over the place. Go to your local, whichever airport is close to you. Go, and just go to find a flight school there and just start asking. I will tell you that the aviation community is pretty flippin' cool. I wanted to learn to fly, and people just started taking me up. Honest to God, just like, you want to try? Let me get you. And they like spoon fed me aviation, and I'm trying to do the same with anybody I can. So yeah. Oh man. All right, people. That's all I got. Can we heat up the outside world? I mean, we've got 70s on the 7-day forecast. I don't have 80s for you, at least not on the 7-day, but I've got 70s. So yeah, but yeah, there's any of the smaller airports around. Aviation as a community is really something special. So yeah, Debbie's asking if it's a very expensive hobby. It is very expensive, but there's something so humbling about going up and seeing how, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but like seeing how you are not that great. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but like for me, it's a great way to ground myself. And I feel closer to my mother who passed. I feel closer to my mother who passed when I'm up there. There's just something spiritual that happens when I go fly, and it grounds me. You know, I look down and I see this big, beautiful earth, and I am just but one of the lucky sons of guns that gets to live in it. And I am so grateful for every single moment. And so yeah, it's the greatest thing I have ever done. There you go, Kara. Go. It's, if there's any interest, it is, for me, it is this cerebral, spiritual, like all in one thing. Yeah. Matt says check out EAA, and if you have kids, the Young Eagles will take kids up on a free ride. Alex does it all the time. Um, when we um, when we chat, Alex has the biggest smile about when he takes the Young Eagles up. And when I get a plane, that's going to be my goal, is to do the Young Eagle flights, to take kids up for their first time, and give them the chance to taste that aviation. It's just, Laura says you're not that great. Well, geez, thanks. No, but it's true, right? That's the way it is. I feel like it puts life. Linda says it puts your life in perspective. Yeah. So flying off Earth grounds, it does, Chris. It does. Yeah. And I love. You know what it is? Everybody should have something that puts them, that fills their cup. That's all. That's all. That's all. All right, people. It is 8:23, and I'm going to go pre-flight an airplane. I got nothing else to say. We'll do a long-range look tomorrow. We'll also do a full wrap-up on the hurricane season, because we have Tracking the Tropics tomorrow, the very last one for the season, and we're going to just kind of discuss the season. We're going to discuss what we've seen in the patterns, and we'll do all of that deep stuff. All right? Sound good? Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I appreciate you all, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and at 10 a.m.